Event tracing for Windows, or ETW, is an important mechanism used by EDRs. MacroPack and ShellcodePack have recently received updates regarding features to disable ETW in a process. ETW is comprised of many sessions that receive data from one or more providers, data which can then be read by one or more consumers. In the case of EDRs, a perpetually running agent monitors a session for incoming events. Every time a process is created, the EDR will inject a DLL inside this process. If the EDR uses ETW, the DLL will raise events in the ETW session based on function calls and regularly communicate with the agent still via ETW. Using ShellcodePack, we can quickly test if injected DLLs from EDRs raise events or not, which will be demonstrated later on. For our test, we will disable ETW against a very specific EDR who we know actively uses ETW. The way we disable ETW in a given process is by directly targeting the function antitrace-event. By immediately making it return 0 upon being called, no event will be registered, blinding ETW reporting for the target process. Let's see how to disable ETW with MacroPack and ShellcodePack. For MacroPack, there is an etw-patch option available with most formats. Here we are demonstrating an Excel payload, but it will also work with LNK, BAT and other formats. When launched, the payload will disable ETW in the Excel process before following through with the payload scenario. For ShellcodePack, there are two methods to disable ETW. ret0, which will modify antitrace-event in memory to forcefully make it return 0, and hardware breakpoint, which will intercept every execution of antitrace-event and redirect it to another function which will return 0. This without modifying any memory segment or page protection. I will select hardware breakpoint and make sure to enable the print console logs option. This will allow us to see logs in the console every time antitrace-event is called and its execution is redirected. Additionally, the EDR I am targeting is known to load custom DLLs in place of Windows ones. So I will go over to the shellcode options and enable patch DLL order so as to prevent the official Windows DLLs from being hijacked. With my options set, I will generate my payload and go to my target machine. My target machine is running this EDR, which makes use of ETW for monitoring purposes. I will run my program and look at the console. Pretty quickly, we can see lines mentioning a exception handler getting called. This is our breakpoint on antitrace-event being triggered from the function getting called. Each of these lines constitute one function call that we diverted away to prevent the real antitrace-event from raising events. With all events being silenced, the payload is launched successfully. This without the EDR detecting it or reporting on what it did. If we had been running Windows Defender instead of this EDR, while still running the same payload, our breakpoint will never have triggered, as Windows Defender does not raise events in malicious processes. Thank you for watching this short demo. You can visit BallisKit.com if you are considering obtaining ShellcodePack or MacroPack, and you can follow our Twitter and LinkedIn for news and updates about what we do.